So, like I was saying earlier, this will be a really short session where I just share some of the things that your church can leverage to craft the best on-screen experience. And when we are saying on-screen experience, what are we really talking about? I'm sure many of us would have been in gatherings or in the church where we've had to use a screen, maybe to follow a scripture or to follow the Bible, right? Or follow just anything that maybe the preacher or a minister is saying, right? And maybe you are the person controlling those things, or you are the person that is experiencing it. Why this is really important is, first of all, why cloud of worship is really important is we are first of all trying to craft that experience, a great experience, not just an experience that sticks to the congregation, but not just for the congregation, for the person that is also configuring it for the congregation. So it's easy for them and easy and quick, right, for them to display to the congregation. So without further ado, let me just move on to the next thing here. And really, why we started, it's just important that we have a good idea of why we're having this conversation. So the reason we started Cloud of Worship is because we saw a problem, and Cloud of Worship came as a solution to that problem. So the problem was that church media tools, are either too expensive or they are not intuitive enough for users to do good work. I'll give you an instance. Churches spend, at least for the churches that do pay, spend well over 500,000 naira every single year to pay for a software like Easy Worship. And how many churches have that much money, right, to let go for just church tech? How many churches are even making that much money in a month or in a year that they would let go of such amount? So what that meant for us is we had to look at that problem very clearly, right? And the truth is that problem has brought about a lot of solutions, if you will. And solutions for that, the routes that people would tend to go is, like I've mentioned here, turning to a cracked version of that software. Some cracked versions like Pro Presenter or say Easy Worship, right? Many of these things have cracked versions, even though they are difficult to use, because the producer of those software or the developer of that software did not create it for people to crack it. They created it such that people would pay for it to use it, right? So we realized that this is a problem actually. First of all, software piracy is not something it's not a good thing. Matter of fact, it's a sin, and it's not something that we want people to get comfortable doing. And that's why we introduced Cloud of Worship, right? So Cloud of Worship is coming as a simple and inexpensive solution that churches can proudly even pay for, right? Cloud of Worship launched over a year ago, and we're proud to say that since we launched, we launched our beta program over a year ago. And then since we launched, we haven't had any single user pay for anything. It's been free, and we really hope that it can be free for as long as possible, right? And then it's not just that it is not expensive. Like I also mentioned, it is simple, right? It's simple over here. And the reason we are saying it is simple is because many people just like you have gone through successful Sunday services on it with zero assistance and guidance. We just try to have sessions like this. So for the people that are not able to grasp it because it's not something that they are used to, right? We can just give them a few pointers, or just to introduce the software to them, really. Because in our experience, we do not typically guide people on how to use Cloud of Worship, and that's how simple it is. It's just like you scrolling through Instagram or scrolling through maybe Facebook, right? Because it's already something that we use elements that you're already familiar with. So it's just that easy to use in your church. All right. Again, like I mentioned earlier, if there are any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer all of them afterwards. So what makes Cloud of Worship different? I'm sure you are familiar with other tools. I would hope that you are. With Pro Presenter, with Easy Worship, with some people would even use like Google Slides, some people use PowerPoint, right? Other people could use, things like this some tools from Worship Tools, right? So what makes Cloud of Worship different from all of this? Well, for one, Cloud of Worship works on the browser, right? And because even though it works on the browser, it is still fully offline. So I would show us this in a moment, but even if I disconnected my internet, I would still be able to access. I mean, I wouldn't be able to disconnect my internet because this is a Google Meet call, and I wouldn't want to just get out of the call. But it's something you can always try by yourself when I would show you what the demo looks like. And then something else we allow is a team workflow. So think about this. You can add, I could have added a song on a global library, right? And then somebody else in Japan, or somebody else, let's not go too far, somebody else in Osun State, somebody else in Sokoto can see the song and add it to their schedule in church. And that's because, again, it's a global library. Multiple people from different places can make changes to the global library and they would be able to use it, right? So you don't always have to save song on your local computer for these things to work. You can easily just, go ahead and use what somebody else has created for your convenience. Apart from that, a single schedule can work for multiple people. So think of it like this. You have 3 laptops in your church. You want to make changes to the same thing, right? The same schedule across multiple computers, but only one computer is connected to the projector. So what can you do? Somebody else can make that change, and then all you need to do is just go to that person's slide, click on it, and then it will be showing. And that's one of the conveniences that Cloud of Worship would afford you. So what are people saying? Actually, this is a little bit outdated, right? In 200 and from churches around the world. So this was over 6 months ago. Right now, we're approaching 600 churches. And the churches have reported a significant recorded reduction in time that they have used to accomplish tasks that actually matter. Somebody in Nigeria says, after 4 months of use, we love its versatility, displaying everything from PowerPoint slides to videos with animated background. The app's ability for different users to create accounts and share lyrics, foster community. And then it just goes on to speak about it. We also have some feedback from some church in Zimbabwe, right? And then there are other users as well from churches in Europe, right? Some from churches in Asia as well. So Cloud of Worship has really gone far and wide. We are seeing that it is benefiting people, right? We're seeing that people are getting a lot of benefit from it. A lot of congregations are getting benefit from it. And that's why we want to share it to you. We know that it's going to be important for you. That's why we're sharing this. All right. So let's move over. So how does Cloud of Worship work?
All right. One of the biggest ones.
I would go ahead and share this video on the chat. Something you can always watch later on. But the reason I'm going to skip that video is because I want to show you what it looks like or what it feels like rather than you watching a video. You can always go ahead to watch it to catch up. So now we are going to just try out Cloud of Worship. Again, to access this, you just go to cloudofworship.com. Right? If you have your computer with you, you can also just go follow along as we go ahead with this. You can go to cloudofworship.com, and here you would see the website. It just says a couple things about it. There are some testimonials as well. There are some things that compare us with other tools that you might use for this, right? But then what we really want you to do right now is tap Get Started for free. So when you click on Get Started for free, what happens? You can also go ahead and watch this video. When you click on Get Started for free, what happens is that we just allow you to sign up. So all you need to do is enter your phone in. So let's create an account. I'll try and create an account right now as somebody that, let's say my name is Adetola Harry, right? My full name is Adetola Harry. And I'll just put in my email here. So my actual email address, favor+harry cloud of worship. Come. Okay, Praise, do you want to say something?
Yes, I do. Like, I want everyone on the call to please start doing the same. Like, log in to your search for Cloud of Worship and let's start doing it so it can be a practical class so everyone can be on the same page. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Praise. So yeah, just like I had also mentioned, again, it would be nice if you can get a computer close to you and then just follow along. So if you have any issues or you run into any issues, I will be happy to help you right on the call. All right. So you can enter a password. It says the password must be at least 8 characters, including upper and lowercase characters and a number. So I'm going to say Cloud of Worship 1. This is the password I'm using. All right. And then I go ahead and create. You can see that it has an uppercase character, a lowercase character, and a number. So I go ahead and say create my account. Now the next step is that it asks me to select my church. Let's say I attend Living Faith, Winners Chapel. Go ahead and click it. Then tells me to just add a branch, its own district or campus. How can I? Basically, what we're asking for is a way to identify your church. There are a lot of Winners Chapels, right? How can I identify your Winners Chapel? So let's just call it Blessed Zone. And then your senior pastor's name, Pastor Praise. You can go ahead and add your church address, but it is not a necessary field. You can just leave it as well. So for this, I'm not going to add it. And then after that, you can just go ahead and start using Cloud of Worship. The moment you arrive here, you are greeted with this, your projects and schedule, right? You can decide, you have to create a new schedule actually. So what is a schedule? A schedule is basically a collection of slides. And slides are what you present to your audience or your congregation. Think of it like the way you would for something like PowerPoint or Google Slides, right? That's how a schedule is. That's how a schedule works. So I'm going to go ahead and just create a schedule here and call it Cloud of Worship Demo, right? And save. So again, this email is yet to be verified. So you can go ahead and verify the email after now. But now let's just check out Cloud of Worship in its entirety. So this is what your Cloud of Worship dashboard looks like. You have 3 sections. There's the quick actions pane, preview and edit content pane, and then the slide schedule pane. Basically how this works is that anything that you want to do on Cloud of Worship, you can do it here. For instance, if I wanted to open a Bible, I can search for Bible and it says either display Bible or search for Bible. Now if I wanted to open Genesis 3 verse 1, I just do Gen 3 space 1 and enter, and then it shows here, right? If I also wanted to do, if I wanted to search for a song, can anybody just try and give me a song here? Any song suggestion that you want us to try out?
God be the glory.
Okay, so let's try to God be. That's a hymn actually, but it might be recorded as a song. So when I search for "To God Be the Glory," these are the options that would show up. But if you wanted this "To God Be the Glory" hymn, you can just go here and go to display hymns, right? Again, like I said, everything that you're looking for is in the quick actions pane. So this is it here. "To God be the glory, great things He had done." Yeah. And then if I just tap on it, it shows up here. Right? So to recap, everything that you would want. All you need to do is just search for them in the quick actions pane. And then we move over to the preview and edit content. So I have created 2 slides over here. Now what we can do is on the preview and edit content pane, it shows us all the slides that are in the schedule and are ready to go live. And then it helps us to make adjustments to those slides even when they are live. For instance, this is a Bible slide. If I wanted to go to verse 6 of Genesis chapter 3, I just tap here. And then if you notice here, whatever is happening, it's changing. This is what my live slide would look like. So it's changing here. All right. I can also try to align it to the left. I can align it to the right, right? I can also reduce the size. I can change the background if I wanted this background. If I wanted it to go to a solid blue background, right? Many other things. I can increase the brightness or reduce the brightness. I can also change the font, right? So that is what the preview and edit content pane is for. It's essentially to ensure that many of the things you would want to do on a slide before it goes live, you can do them here. Now, in the event that you want to, now the next pane is the slide schedule pane, right? Or the slide schedule section, if you will. This now helps you to go live on multiple things. So if you want to go live on the hymn, for instance, once you click on it, that's the active slide. Now, but there's an interesting part. Going live is not just for it to show here. Going live means also that it is showing up on a projector or something of that sort. So to actually have it show on a projector, what you would have to do is click on Go Live and say Open Live Window. So when you click on Open Live Window, it might direct you to the display settings. Open Live Window, for instance. Right? So let's go to the display settings. So to go to the display settings, I hold down Control, comma, and then go to display settings. Control, comma is a shortcut for going to settings. Control and comma. So I can set if I want this to be my live display. All right. I'm connected to an external display, so I can set it to be this. And then afterwards, if I click on Go Live, it should work. I don't want to click on it right now because it might. Let me just show you what it is. So I'll have to share the other side of my screen. Let me try to do that now. So this is what shows up when I go live. And if you notice, it's telling me double click the display to toggle full screen and remove this banner. So when I double click it, it becomes full screen. And so I am controlling it right now. I can decide to go to another slide and it automatically changes. Right? So I don't know if somebody wants to give me an action to do. What would you want me to present, for instance? Anybody that has an opinion around presentation, is there anything that you'd like to present? Maybe it's like, it could be a Bible slide, it could be a hymn, it could be a song, it could be just text that you want me to write and style. Or it could be even an image, or it could be a banner, right? So maybe in the chat, you can drop that suggestion.
Add an image with text.
Okay. So
Yes.
okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and type I want to add into add right. So first of all, this is what it would look like. Just an image. I can go ahead and start styling it. Remember, in my preview and edit content, I can make it a H1, right? So that it is larger. I can say, ask me, bring this down, right? And make this a paragraph, right? Then I can then go ahead and style this. And then finally, I can add an image. at the background, right? And then I can also add a custom image as well. So this is one way to go around that. How did I achieve it? I achieved it with a text slide, right? So I'm going to stop sharing my live preview right now and present something else. So I'm presenting my control center now. All right. And this is what I did actually. I also asked me to add an image with text. I just styled it. I can even go ahead and italicize this. Just put Command I, or you can go ahead and click on it. All right. You can go ahead and bolden it as well. So feel free to explore as much as you want. You can even change the color and many other things. So that's one thing. Another interesting thing is you can add banners as well. So this is a banner that I don't know if you've heard of some banners that you might, maybe you want to give an announcement in the church, but you don't want it to be distracting. You just want it to be like at the bottom of the screen. So help give an announcement without distracting. I can just go ahead and send it. If you look over here, you see that the banner will be showing at the bottom. Right, so this is typically how it would look like. And then there are some other interesting things. You can go ahead and you can search the whole Bible, right? I don't know if anybody wants to try and give us a scripture that they want us to search. You know it, but you know how to recite it, but you don't know exactly where it is in the Bible. And if you have that example, you can share with us. I'll come back to that, right? So you can do that. You can drop the scripture in the chat, by the way. You can also add a countdown, for instance. If I wanted to add a countdown timer, I just create the countdown, right? Maybe style it a bit to look like a countdown and start the countdown. So this is what it would, if I go, I can use this to take the slide live, or I can just click on this place. And when I go live, you'll notice that this is what is happening. So the countdown timer has started. All right. Let me just stop it for now. Let's count. All right. So yeah, that is that around how to get familiar with this. There are other things over here, as you can see. There's the library, right? There's add media, there's text slide, there's display song lyrics, there's display hymns. Many of these things are available for your use as well. So you can just go ahead and make modifications to those things. All right, I'll just open the window for questions if there are any, because I've been talking for about 30 minutes. So does anybody have any questions? Is there anything? Okay, I see a question. I need to log in. When displaying Bible verse, can it show a whole chapter just like you do worship? For instance, whole chapter of John chapter 1 to 10, and not just one verse after the other. Oh yes, it can. We advise you not to do that. And the reason is, again, we are trying to craft a good experience for your congregation. And so when you try to put a full, chapter, right, in one slide, what would happen is that you have your text looking not as good as it should. So let's try it out. So you said John chapter 1 from verse 1 to 10. Let's just look at what I did. So John 1 space 1 to 10. So you can see it actually puts it down. Let's just go live with it. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was God. Same was, all of it is here. But we don't advise you to do this, because as you can see, it is tiny. You can also go ahead and increase the font if you want, to be honest. but it will still not be as good. It's bigger. What we would expect is maybe you can do it in bits. So you can say maybe 1 to 3, for instance. That is a little bit more palatable. Let me just change the font here. That's a little bit easier on the eye, right? Let me go ahead and reduce this to 140. 200. It's a little bit easier on the eye. You can go ahead and just read it, right? Or, and if you want to go to the next verse, you can click on this, or you can use your arrow key. So you can do, if I'm not tapping on anything, I'm just clicking on my arrow key and it's moving, right? Those are shortcuts that you can as well use to make this easy for you. All right, thank you, wonderful. Is there any other question that you just like, or anybody would like me to address? Has this been clear so far? Is there anything that you would love me to take a look at? Again, just to recap, when you're signing up, we would advise that you sign up using like your Google account, your Gmail or something, instead of signing up using an email. And the reason is because your email might go to spam, right? Or it's possible that the email might not be delivered early, and and that might delay you. Yeah. So there are a lot of ways to open scriptures actually. One of the ways is to do, I can come here, right? So I don't even need to bring my mouse here. I just put forward, I click on / on my keyboard, right? And then I just do Genesis, let's try something else, Matthew 28:19. And then it shows up here. I can just click on it and it opens Matthew 28:19. Once you've opened it up here, you don't need to keep on going back here. As long as you have a Bible slide open, you can just stay here and change it, right? If it is in the same chapter, you can just type it over. You can click on it over here. If it's not in the same chapter, so now it's Matthew 7:7. You can do MAT 7:7 and it opens Matthew 7. If it was, for instance, Philippians 4:19, PHIL 4:19, right? If it was John 3:16, JOH 3:16. So yeah, those are one of the things that you can do. I don't know if that's clear enough. I also. All right. Are there any other question? Is there anything else that is not clear? All right. Thank you so much. Okay. In the absence of any other questions, I'll just hand over to Praise. Praise, do you have anything to say?
I think we still have some question.
All right.
All right, I think we have some question at the income messages. Okay, we have one from Ayot. Okay, you've answered that. He was asking if there's a faster way to open the scripture. We have another person saying, I haven't gotten my verification code since. Another person is saying, I'm trying to go live, but I'm seeing no external screen detected. What should I do? Then another person is saying, having issues with connecting to an external monitor. We make use of TV in youth church, and those TV are connected to the laptop using HDMI and AV cable. While making use of cloud of worship, it tends to see the adult church TV instead. Don't know if that's just the TV connection. Then another person is saying, same here, I haven't gotten my verification code. I think we should address that.
All right. So for the verification code, just to rehash what I had said earlier, try to sign up using sign up with the Google account, right? That should, for now, at least for now, fix that problem that you're facing on that front. So trying to sign up with a Google account, then you wouldn't need to enter a verification code. This is almost smaller and wonderful. Also, to address other things, trying to go live but not seeing an external screen. So this would require a lot of context because this could be different for other people. It could be different for different people, right? So I would need to see what exactly you are facing to be able to answer this question. But really, we have a set of rules that we go through. And I'll share an article with you right now. There are some things that you should follow that would almost guarantee you. Look, I mean, give me a minute. I'm trying to type it out. All right, there's something that you should follow that would almost guarantee you a seamless flow, right? While you are going through, or while you are trying to extend your display or trying to project your display to a TV or a projector. Now, some of the things I'll just call them out right now if you give me a moment. Let's check the blog. Again, try as much as possible to use the blog as well if you have any issues. The team has, we're a really small team and we're trying our possible best to ensure that we can serve as much churches as possible. But one of the ways we try to make that a little bit easier for ourselves is by creating content so that other people can go through it if they have any issues. Sometimes this content might not help you because your case is peculiar. And those are times that I would advise you to reach out to us, which is one of the reasons why we have sessions like this. All right. So to extend the display, you can check out this one that says how to project your live slides to another display. There are a couple of steps that you're supposed to follow, right? But before you connect, depends on your computer, whether it's Windows or Mac, before you connect to a secondary display, and before that, you have to connect to a secondary display, something you might have already tried, right? And then we've seen cases where even after people connect to a secondary display, Cloud of Worship is not seeing their monitor, right? And this might be as a result of the browser that they are using or the computer. So what we tell them is that that's not the end, right? There's a workaround. So that's why we have this session called troubleshooting if you are not connected to a secondary display. And what happens here is that if you're not connected to a secondary display, you can open a new browser tab, right? And let me just give you an instance. A new browser tab, and what you just do is go to app.cloudofworship.com/live. I'm going to type it out here. app.cloudofworship.com/live. And what happens is that I'm going to pin it as well. What happens is that after you go to this link, that would be your live display, right? Anything that should show up on the live display would be showing up here. And then you can drag that tab to your monitor or whatever display you use. So that's the workaround we usually have for cases like that. When it doesn't happen automatically, you can force it to happen manually by doing something like this. I hope this helps. But yeah, that is what I would advise you. Akintola Kehinde and Space Up Go Viral. I don't know if there are any other questions. Also, like I said, it's a peculiar thing. So if you have any more questions or if you want something like a peculiar assistance, you can always reach out and I'll be happy to help you. When you're in front of a computer, right, I need my assistance in getting it done. I'll be happy to help. All right. Is there any other question? Is there any other thing that we might not have tackled? I would like that everybody leaves here with some level of clarity and is sure of what they are doing this Sunday in church. And also, they have a good understanding of why this is something that we think churches should be using, right? Apart from just having this conversation with us, I would like that we also go ahead and reach out to, there are churches that use Easy Worship, churches that use other tools like this, right? And our response to it is we don't think a church should be engaging in software piracy, to be honest. On our part, we know that these things they are very expensive. They are very expensive to buy, right? Spending half a million naira to buy a software for a church is ridiculous for a Nigerian church, because where are they even getting the money from, right? Especially because they will have, like, some people have low budgets and stuff like that in their churches that they dedicate towards media tools. So where are they going to find the money for that? And that's why cloud of worship is a reality, to be honest, so that people don't always have to go through crooked means to get good tools. If I'm being honest with you, cloud of worship is a long walk. Not a long walk, but we're walking towards a point where people don't even have to use, like, other tools, right? Where people don't have to worry about other tools. But it takes it takes some little steps, right? Many of us that are on this team, we have other responsibilities. I have a job, other people have it, but then we are committed to ensuring, whether it's on a weekend, on a weekday, we are committed to ensuring that this is something that people love to use. This is something that would actually enhance the experience for both the person controlling it and also for the people that are listening in. So yeah, that's why we are doing this. I don't know if there are any other concerns or questions before we can just draw this session to a close. Please, you can go ahead.
All right, thank you for this wonderful session. Actually, to everyone who joined the call, please, I'll be dropping my WhatsApp contacts, and I want you all to send me a message so I can properly account for the fact that you joined the meeting, and also add you to the community, that's Cloud of Worship community, so that we can follow up and check whenever you have any issue concerning the app, anything at all, or maybe you want to recommend. Yes, we really want you to recommend the app to other personalities, other churches, and different media teams, media aid, because we wanted to go around. And we're actually working on a project which we tag Operation 1000 Churches. We want 1000 churches to use Cloud of Worship since it is free and it is better. So please, I'll be dropping my WhatsApp line. Please send me a message this evening immediately we're done with the call. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. If you need to reach out to us, I think you are aware on how to reach out. But really, I'll just share my contacts very quickly now. So if you need to reach out to me, you can just send an email to people@cloudofworship.com. All right, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. So you can also just drop a message on the community when Praise adds you to it. I'm there, so you can just send me a chat or drop a chat for everybody. But yeah, thank you so much for your time. I wish you all the best. And I hope you use Cloud of Worship in church this Sunday. All right, take care. Bye, everyone.
All right, thank you so much.